Starstruck.
Me. I feel really loud. Am I closer than I was? Maybe right there. That's probably better.
All right. How am I sounding?
Good.
All right. All right. Well, I'm going to have a wee dram of this Irish whiskey I set out here. I felt it appropriate here. Well, what is it? What does it say? All right. Well, cheers to you.
Cheers.
All right. That should get me. That should get the Irish out in me for this one. Okay. Let's see here. Well, hello and welcome to Joyride. I am Jared Brandon Flandy.
And I'm Kyle Dotterman.
And this is the show that is about the joyride and not the destination. Let's do that one more time because I sounded like a frog.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello and welcome to Joyride. I am Jared Brandon Flandy.
And I'm Kyle Dotterman.
And this is the show that is about the journey, not the destination. All right, that's a little bit better. So, Kyle.
So, Jared.
How you doing?
I am doing fantastic.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of work today here. So, how's your energy levels? Are they doing okay?
Heavy lifting, very hard. It's like we're like Sisyphus pushing the boulder up the hill.
Sisyphus. That's a good. That just sounds like an Irish word.
I love that guy. He's just going at it every day. That guy, hard worker. That guy.
Now, if you've tuned into this, and I have no idea why you would, since it's part 4, but maybe you didn't.
Go back.
Go back. I've heard people
figure it out. What are you doing?
If you got here by accident, go back because this story is very Irish themed.
If you start watching, if you're one of those people that used to tune into a movie on cable and watch it from like the 75% point onward, what are you doing? What was going on there?
One you'd seen or not seen?
Not seen.
Yeah, what are you doing there?
Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, I mean, I've probably seen the end of Home Alone like 37 times on cable.
I've seen probably like the beginning of Goodfellas probably 800 times.
Why? There was like a 5-year period there where Michael Bay's Transformers movie was playing on FX like every day. What was that about?
I don't know.
Why were they constantly playing that movie? It's like it was the only movie on TV, and it was really meant to be watched on a theater screen, so it was just squished. It was miserable. What was that about?
Squished and Miserable. A new podcast by Kyle Donnerman.
Yeah, that describes Tim Hortons.
So, this is the Mad Mechanic of Belfast, Harry Ferguson. Part 4. And we left off with, let's see here, Harry was trying to find someone to build his plow. He managed to finally find a supplier. He had met Henry Ford, and things are starting to look up for him because he's been determined, which is my theme on this show.
Yep. Joyride protagonists are never deterred. They will go head first into the dumbest thing possible.
So, even though Harry had been racing for most of his life, he now wanted to make another one of his dreams a reality, which was to have a major car race in Ulster.
Okay.
He brought in big names in motor racing, such as Lee Guinness,
Of
This is not an Irish
Unrelated?
name at all.
Yeah.
But none of the courses that were scouted met their approval. Things would come to a crashing halt, though, when a driver died during a practice run.
Not ideal.
Harry set out to find a better and safer race course. Along with this, the Ulster Automobile Club agreed they'd organize a race as long as the government of Ulster encouraged them to do so, of which it did.
I mean, I don't mean to be an ass, but like, just because one guy crashed doesn't mean that the course is unsafe. Then it might have been just the one guy.
Yeah. The event was dubbed the Ulster Touring Trophy, or the Ulster TT.
Nice.
TT. Yeah.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up from me.
It's like Audi, the Audi TT.
Yep.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Everybody loves TTs.
Especially in Ulster.
Yes. So, during the 1930s, it became one of the biggest events in all of Ulster, attracting up to 500,000 spectators. And the undisputed king of the races was Mr. Harry Ferguson himself. Some of the teams would store their cars at Harry Ferguson Limited, and Harry himself loved to roam around the paddocks to hand out advice. The advice was usually unsolicited, but more than not enjoyed it due to Harry's enthusiasm for cars and motorsport. Grand banquets were held after the main race events, and it was one of the few times that Harry was seen to actually be enjoying himself. His antics included trying to pop a bibbendum.
What?
Otherwise known as the Michelin Man, with a fork.
I've always wondered what's under there.
You know why bibbendum is the Michelin Man is white?
Mm-mm.
Tires were originally made from white rubber.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And also racism.
We're gonna keep going.
Let's cut that.
However, like all motorsport, the TT was not without its dangers. I did not write that intentionally either.
Yeah, we've had in this series, we've had you setting a rake for me. We've had me setting a rake for you, and now you setting a rake for yourself. Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching a master at work.
So the event would finally come to an end in 1936 when driver Henry Reid was killed in a crash along with 8 spectators. There was no safety back then.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of safety in racing until probably the 60s.
Were they just standing on the side of the road?
Yeah, literally. No barricades, nothing. Yeah, just people standing on the side of the road.
I mean, wasn't it earlier in this story that Harry and another driver got into a car, went 90, and then slammed on the brakes?
I think we've touched on like old school racing in this show. We might actually get to like a story that deals just specifically with it because it's insane.
Let's just give these brakes a test. Oh, okay. We flipped.
As sad as this was, around the time of the Ulster TT, Harry and the gang made a major breakthrough with the Ferguson plow. This version featured 3 hitch points, 2 to the side and 1 on top, all of which could articulate not only up and down, but left and right as well, making it superior to the duplex hitch that only went up and down.
Okay.
So with these improvements, agriculture would never be the same again. This is known as the 3-point hitch system.
Okay.
With the plow refined more than ever, the future looked bright, but then a threat appeared on the horizon. The tractor market in North America was having severe problems. General Motors was the first to exit since they felt the rewards were simply not worth the efforts. Henry Ford himself began to feel the same way, and rumors started to float across the Atlantic that he was considering halting production of the Fordson. So, aside from problems with the tractor market, Ford needed more capacity to produce the new Model A, so in 1928 it was announced they would no longer build the Fordson. This was the absolute worst news Harry could have ever heard, since this was the very tractor the Ferguson system was designed specifically for.
Yep.
Willie had already left the company and came back before, but with the production of the Fordson coming to a halt, Willie decided to go out on his own again, so he bought a bus and began a career in public transportation.
What the hell? What?
Willie the bus man.
Yeah. Seems like quite the pivot.
After
Well, he said, to hell with this, I'm driving a bus. That's hysterical. What a guy.
It's usually the other way around.
Does he come back? Yeah. Does he come back into the story at all, or is that his whole exit?
After some time passed, Harry had heard from Willie.
Okay.
The bus business was going well.
Oh, good.
And Willie had time and money to burn. Oh. So you were just shitting on it.
Hey, what is going on? What the hell is going on?
He offered to come back and help Harry with the plow for the next 2 years and without any salary.
Is that how that works? You just buy a bus and start driving it? Is that allowed? What? There's so many layers of that. What? I've got my bus now. I'm just gonna go around.
Yeah, bus. Okay, good.
Lord Almighty.
Harry refused his offer, at least the salary part. To make things better, the company directors had finally come around to the fact that the plow aspect of the business might be profitable, so the old team of Ferguson, Sands, and Greer was back together. With the Fordson no longer, Harry had come to a conclusion. He would have to build his own tractor, and he wanted it built in Ireland. This would be easier said than done.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I think Greer came back.
Archie.
No, it was the other guy. Or it could have been Archie. Yeah, Archie Greer. I'm not sure if it was McGregor or Archie Greer. It was one of the Greers.
One of them. Okay.
Yeah. So, this would be easier said than done. He first went to consult shipbuilders such as Harland and Wolff, which built the Titanic, about making a tractor. But it was the 1930s, and the Great Depression was hitting the Northern Irish economy hard. Consequently, this forced Harry and his team to head to England with a Fordson outfitted with their new hitch system. This trip proved to be fruitful since they were able to organize demonstrations for Edward, the Prince of Wales, later King Edward the Seventh, and Prince George, the Duke of Kent. If I got my Roman numerals right, so someone could be correcting me on that. But it's the one that married Wallace Simpson.
You're the only one that sees the script. Just put the numbers on there. It's okay. We won't know, but we will know if you don't read them right.
Hey, I got all A's in math, all right. But I wasn't Roman math, all right. Although the finer facets of agriculture likely did not interest the royals, they did find the machinery interesting, which helped give Harry a bit of newfound leverage to better promote his product.
Okay.
So the fancies like it. The Morris Motor Company, who would be among the first to produce a little car developed by John Cooper. Have any guess what that could be?
The Mini?
Mm-hmm. Was initially interested in constructing a tractor incorporating the Ferguson system, but they eventually backed out. Nonetheless, Harry and the team started conceptualizing a design, and by 1931, they hired a draftsman named John Chambers to put ideas onto paper. I think that name is safe.
Yeah. I think we're okay. I'll allow it. Pass the test.
A fair amount of the innovations had come from Harry's knowledge of racing cars. With much tinkering, machining, and wrench turning, a prototype had been completed by 1933. It was called the Black Tractor.
All right.
It featured an 18-horsepower American Hercules engine, and most of the gears were supplied by David Brown of England, the largest manufacturer of gears in the country.
That guy knew what he was doing. He's just like, screw all this inventing. I'm just going to manufacture gears and make a ton of money doing it. That's all you had to do back then.
Yeah.
Those were the two careers. Make gears or buy a bus. That's all that you can do.
You're going to Donnerman Bus Company.
The Donnerman Bus Company. I still don't understand that part of the story. He buys a bus and then he becomes so rich a couple of years later. He's like, I don't need your salary. What? Honey, I bought a bus. What did you do?
You're gonna, is this the sit down with Katie you're going to have?
No.
Yeah. She just comes out and there's a bus out in front of your house. Honey, there's money in this, apparently.
100 years ago in Ireland, there was money in this. Don't worry about it. We're going to figure this out. Also, the bus doesn't run.
The use of these gears would turn out to be somewhat prophetic, since the first place the prototype tractor was demonstrated was near the David Brown Parkworks in Huddersfield, England. Shortly after these demonstrations, Harry and his comrades came to an agreement with the Craven Wagon Works of Sheffield. The deal would be fraught with problems from the start.
Not ideal.
When Harry was in Yorkshire, he would periodically stop by to have a chat with young David Brown, and every once in a while, Harry would put a bug in his ear about maybe having his family's firm manufacture the tractor. David, who had become the company's managing director, in fact, was actually very interested. His father did not feel the same. David's father hated tractors, and about the only thing he hated more than tractors was Harry Ferguson.
These seem to be issues with the plan. I'll go out on a limb and say these are going to be hard to overcome. Why does he hate tractors? A weird thing to hate.
You appear to like buses. So.
Seems like
or Tim Hortons.
Seems like Tim Hortons is provably, objectively bad. Tractors are tractors.
I can meet you some guys and you can get really into the weeds with them on that one.
Yeah, but like the concept of tractors.
The concept, okay.
Per tractor, yes, there are going to be differences. I respect that, but like this guy hates the idea of tractors. He's a generational hater. He just hates. I hate a tractor.
He's a machinist.
Yeah. Stupid. That took me longer to figure out. I was like, he's a what?
So, David decided to pay a visit to managing director Charles F. Spencer, the man Harry was working with to build the tractor.
We don't have enough people with middle initials anymore.
Not anymore.
Need to go back to that.
It was standard back then.
How many more, were there a lot of Charles Spencers we needed to go by F?
It's Diana's brother is Charles Spencer.
Oh, there you go.
As in the princess, not just my friend Diana.
Yeah. Oh. Dear listener, I hope you could figure that out. I hope, yeah.
Quote, this is from Mr. Spencer. "We can't get on with the fellow," Spencer said. "Frankly, it isn't working and it isn't going to work out." "Well," said David, "what would you say if I were to take it off your hands? You have an agreement. Would you be prepared to hand it over to me?" Spencer responded with, "I would be delighted, but I think you'd be a bloody fool."
Nice.
Yep. So throughout 1935, there was some teething problems as they continued to polish the prototype for production, which included using a new British-built engine. Harry was now 50 years old, but worked day and night. By 1936, the team had solved most of the engineering problems, so the tractor was now ready. Harry formed a new sales company, while David formed a company called David Brown Tractors as the manufacturer.
Okay.
The prototype was black, but Harry realized this color would make it difficult to keep it clean, so a battleship gray was settled upon.
Very good.
Ferguson equipment would be this color as long as Harry was alive. There was still one snag, though, which was the tractor and the implements being built were so different compared to the primitive equipment farmers had become accustomed to using. Consequently, a school was set up to help educate people about the Brown Ferguson tractor and the Ferguson system. Harry was also insistent on providing the best service possible, and he additionally made sure to aggressively market it, something he was very good at. Even with all these efforts, the Brown Ferguson tractors were not exactly selling like hotcakes. A couple of places where the tractors were popular was Scotland and Norway due to the rugged and difficult terrain of those areas. And have you been to Scotland?
Yep.
Okay. So you are well aware of agricultural difficulties in Scotland then?
Yep.
Yep. You teach a class on it.
Yeah. All the time. I mean, that's what I'm up there for, man. I'm like, what's up with these agricultural difficulties, They're going, dude.
You got to do a Scottish accent.
I got it. That got kind of Arnold-y there for a minute.
You don't know no shit about tractors.
Yeah.
Show me agricultural abilities.
Yeah. Yeah. When I'm up in Scotland, I'm not investigating agricultural difficulties. I'm eating 3,000 calories every meal and drinking.
What are you eating
excess.
in Scotland for 3,000 calories? Haggis every meal?
Have you been to Edinburgh?
Yeah.
Food scene in Edinburgh is great.
You know, there's all those deep fried Mars bars.
Oh no, I'm going and I'm getting Italian food. I'm getting Mediterranean food. I'm getting all kinds of food, man.
In Scotland?
In Scotland.
You know, you could get all that here.
Yeah, I know, but it's in Scotland. Over here, the calories are real. In Scotland, they're not.
True.
They're made up.
A fair amount of farmers only had old tow-behind implements that were used with the Fordson, so they weren't too inclined to buy Harry's newfangled implements. At the end of the day, the Brown Ferguson tractor, along with its companion equipment, was just a bit too innovative and a bit too novel for the ever-change-resistant farmer. With advice from his marketing department, David Brown decided they needed to build a larger and heavier tractor. Harry blew an absolute gasket when he heard this. The entire point of his endeavor was the tractor had to be small and light so small farmers could afford it. In his mind, a bigger tractor would completely eliminate that idealistic objective. As a result of these differing opinions, the relationship between Ferguson and Brown began to deteriorate.
Yeah.
Big surprise?
Yeah, not necessarily a big surprise. If there's anything in Joyride, it's that if you're a Joyride protagonist, you're going to keep slamming your head against stuff until it breaks, and everyone around you is going to hate you at some point, and we've checked all those boxes here today.
David Brown would continue to produce tractors for decades, but he'd also eventually purchased the high-end car manufacturer Aston Martin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The company became globally famous when the James Bond film Goldfinger, starring Sean Connery, was released in 1963. Or was it 64? It was one of the two.
One of them.
In the early 60s. We'll see. In the film, an Aston Martin DB5 was prominently featured, which set the standard of Aston Martin cars being the preferred mode of transport for the fictional secret agent. The DB in DB5 stands for David Brown.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
This is brand new info to me.
I have seen the DB5, by the way.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where at?
I was working in L.A.
I was in L.A.
And I just had some time, so I went to the Peterson Automotive Museum that's
Very
downtown. Nice. And they had the Bond in Motion exhibit.
Oh, wow.
And they had pretty much every vehicle in all the movies there.
That's awesome.
And the final one, when you went through the whole thing, was the DB5.
That's incredible.
And I just stared at it for probably about 5 minutes.
You went, oh my God, it's the DB5. I'm going to go get a matcha. Sorry, that's my LA accent. It's not that far off.
Could you see an Oregon boy like me hanging around in Hollywood easily?
I feel like you acquiesce. I feel like
I acquiesced. Yes, it was difficult.
I feel like you get swept away in the, it happens, man. It happens,
So,
you start hanging around the film festival here for too long. You start talking about biodynamic wine.
Oh my God, that's 100. Wow,
it's a lot, man. It starts happening. What are you supposed to do?
Harry, however, was now back to square one. He had to find another partner to build his lightweight tractor. It was a long shot, but he distinctly remembered a certain somebody who had told him to keep in touch as he progressed with his inventions. That somebody
James Bond.
James Bond.
It was Henry Ford.
It was Henry Ford, yeah.
Who just stopped building his tractor recently in the story, so not maybe the best time to reach out.
Getting the attention of such a powerful man is not exactly easy, but Harry had kept in touch with his American business associates, the Sherman brothers. As fate would have it, one of the brothers, Eber Sherman, or Eber, had business connections with Henry Ford himself. In order to possibly use this to his advantage, Harry invited Eber over to Britain to check out his new designs. When he saw a demonstration of the new tractor, he was beyond impressed. Luck seemed to be on Harry's side during this time period, because Ford had begun experimenting with tractors once again.
We're out of the tractor business.
Now we're back.
They keep pulling me back in.
In fact, Ford had invested heavily in agriculture in other ways, such as successfully finding a method to use soybeans to make plastics.
Okay. That was interesting.
Another endeavor was to produce more natural latex from rubber trees in order to make tires, but that's a story on its own. We did that one. Go back to the Fordlandia episode.
All
In terms of farm machinery, Ford hired an engineer called Carl Schultz, but the 3 prototypes that had been developed by his team were not exactly satisfactory. When Eber Sherman returned to the United States, he informed Henry Ford of Harry's progress. Ford somewhat remembered the Irishman he had met 18 years earlier, and he decided he would give him another shot. In October 1938, Harry and the gang sailed to New York and then had the tractor and tractor accessories trucked to Dearborn.
Tractor and tractor accessories.
I sell tractor and tractor accessories.
Propane.
Have you seen the new series, by
I
the way?
haven't.
I haven't either.
I want to. Should. King of the Hill. Bobby,
you dumbass. When Harry, Willie, and Eber arrived at Dearborn, that was the weirdest set of names I've ever read.
Them boys were up in Dearborn. I don't know what that voice was. That was like Cleveland Brown.
So you're kind of almost like Colonel Sanders. You were just a southern chicken man.
You seen the Knives Out films?
Yeah, yes, I have.
Benoit Blanc.
That was a bit Benoit Blanc.
Are you telling me that a common shrimp fried this rice?
I think what Daniel Craig's done with that role, it's going to you.
There's no way a common shrimp has fried this rice. It is implausible.
Ford was not there since he was visiting one of his mines up north. This gave them time to uncrate the tractor and the rest of the gear. The field Harry selected for the demonstration was on Henry Ford's personal estate, Fairlane. That's the car.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fairlane enough.
And Andrew Dice Clay does a movie called that. It was terrible.
What year did that come out?
Early 90s.
Early 90s.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah. Movie sucks.
My buddy Jared, not me. It's just another guy named Jared.
Oh, sorry.
Loves that name.
You gotta eliminate one of them.
Just so it's not referred to.
You gotta figure something out here. This is where we get the middle initial back.
It's both M too.
One of you's gotta go. You gotta fight in the cage. I'm sorry. Like that scene from Spider-Man.
If Dice Man, if you're listening, someone does like that movie. So let's see here. Harry specifically chose a plot that Clara, Henry's wife, used for her garden. On the day of the demonstration, only a handful of people were present. Those being Harry, Willie, Eber, and another Sherman employee. We don't know his name.
He's lost to time.
Representing Team Ford was Ed Malvitz, Ford's chauffeur Wilson, and Mr. Ford himself.
Was Wilson a volleyball by chance?
It's just holding a volleyball.
What do you think, Wilson? Big decision here.
Harry had Malvitz operate the tractor so he could walk alongside it and direct. It performed splendidly. A series of different implements were also run through their paces. The legend does vary a bit, but it's been said that Mr. Ford had taken on a serious air. He requested that an Alice Chalmers Model B and a Fordson be retrieved from the estate's collection of equipment. Both of these tractors were paired with the Ferguson implements, and they performed terribly compared to the little tractor that could. Ford broke his silence. He suggested they move to another field to continue the demonstration. Perhaps even the powerful Mr. Ford was fearful what his wife would do when she learned they'd been tearing up her garden.
Oh.
Even with the change of venue, things continued to go well. Ford walked over to an apple tree, plucked an apple, pulled out his pocket knife, and began to cut and eat it as he called for a chauffeur. Like a cartoon villain.
Did he put his hands together like this? Yes, I'm going to put my hands together.
He asked Wilson to bring a table and a pair of chairs from the car, which I'm sure was very difficult for a volleyball.
I don't have hands. I am a sports ball.
Harry and Henry sit down. Mind you, Harry's name actually is Henry, so it's Henry and Henry.
Henry squared.
So there's the Battle of the Henrys and the Battle of the Jareds.
Yep.
Okay.
And Wilson just rolling around in the background.
Sat down at the little table that had been set up in the field. Harry brought with him a small spring-wound model of the tractor to help explain its benefits. Harry continued to pontificate that such a small tractor would make draft animals and the acres of land needed to feed them a thing of the past. Even the smallest of farmers could afford it, which would greatly help humanity and put agriculture as the #1 industry in the world. Ford was taken with such a prospect, so he offered to purchase all of Harry's patents. Harry said, I'm just going to do it in the regular voice.
Yep.
I don't want to take away from the seriousness of this.
Yeah, indeed.
This is a big deal.
Okay? Uh-huh.
Harry said, you haven't got the money because they're not for sale at any price. End quote. Well, I'm determined to go into business, and you need me and I need you, so what do you suggest? Asked Ford. A gentleman's agreement, Harry responded. He continued by saying, you're proposing to stake your reputation and your resources on this economic idea, even if it's if billions of dollars is involved, and no agreement could protect you fully. I've spent my whole career thinking out this great economic idea, and I've put everything I and my family have into it, and I reckon my designs and inventions are worth more than your $1 billion. So I don't see how I can make an agreement. I'll trust you if you'll trust me.
Somewhere his daughter was like, what the hell, man? Just take the money. She's like, Ford. She's like, dude. Figure it out.
I like dude. Once Harry finished, Ford said, that's a good idea. I'll go along on those terms.
And Wilson said, I'm a volleyball.
He's Irish too now.
Yeah. Thanks for keeping up.
After they hashed out a few more details, both men stood up, clasped hands, and shook. This would become known as the Handshake Agreement.
Wow. The naming convention was working overtime on that one. Oh, Lord.
By this midpoint in his career, Harry had multiple business partners, some of which had been fruitful, but most of them had usually just come to a dead end. This time it would be different, and had to be different. This was not some mom-and-pop enterprise. This was the Ford Motor Company, a Goliath that had yet to be defeated. Harry and company returned to Ireland, but in early of January of 1939, Harry and his wife Maureen and their daughter set sail for North America again aboard the Aquitania,
Constant,
which arrived in New York on January 14th. The family moved into the Dearborn Inn, a hotel that Henry Ford had built near the Ford Motor Company's airport, which was also the first hotel airport and the first airport to guide a liner in by radio.
Wow.
A little two fun facts for you. The Ferguson family were still unpacking when the phantom-like shadow of Mr. Ford appeared in their doorway. He came to the inn to welcome them personally. Upon seeing him, Harry quickly told Betty to make everyone a cup of tea. She ventured into the kitchen, but the electric stove would not turn on. She began to panic and feared her father would scold her for failing. Eventually, she accepted defeat and reluctantly walked back to the phony chatting grown-ups. Quote, Mr. Ford, she said, you don't happen to know how to turn on the electricity, do you? The grown-ups burst into laughter, and Betty probably took an extended sigh of relief. Harry and Henry walked into the kitchen, but the two bastions of innovation were not able to figure out how to switch the electricity on. Stumped by the simplest of things.
Yep.
Harry and his team had their work cut out for them. While they were settling business with David Brown back in the UK, the Ford engineers took the Brown Ferguson tractor that was used during the garden demonstrations and proceeded to take it apart piece by piece so they could figure out what made it tick. The main purpose for this was to conceive the best possible strategy in order to mass produce it. The Ford team additionally discovered the Ferguson design tractor built in Huddersfield was not just good, it was light years ahead of the competition. Henry Ford knew he had a tiger by the tail, and he was not going to let it go. He told all of his top men to pool all of their resources into the tractor program. And that is end of part 4.
I wonder if they ever got their tea.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
All right, so we're officially over halfway now. How you feeling?
Well, that was the end of 4.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
Got
2/3.
Two more left.
We're 66% of the way there.
Mm-hmm.
Did we step on any rakes this episode? I don't think so. A rake-free episode?
A rake-free episode.
I think we're good. I think we cleared them.
So, based upon how this started, do you think it was going to go in this direction?
I didn't think we'd be, having so much tractor talk.
Tractor talk.
Yeah. Also known as TT. But I like it. I wonder a little bit about this guy because he's so unlike me, If Henry Ford offers you $1 bazillion for your tractor thing, I would have said, okay, thank you. That's all now. I'm going to go do anything else now. I'm going to go do everything else now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I wouldn't still be in the tractor business. I'd be doing anything else.
Well, as you know, I mentioned before, having grown up in agriculture, I was thinking of doing a tractor one, but I had to think of the right one because obviously that could get a bit dry.
Not exactly the high octane action.
It's not exactly. It's not. But I was like, I stumbled across this guy. I went, okay, we found it.
This has been a good one.
And what I've been, like I said, I won't give all the way the spoilers. But I was reading this, I was expecting, oh yeah, okay, he flew around a bit. Yeah, he designed a tractor. But I was like, huh? He did this and he did this. And he meets this person and he meets this person, and we're not done yet.
More people to come.
More people to come. All right, so I think with that said, that's pretty much that's it. Other than the usual such and such, check out our stuff online. Leave comments if you can, and a rating. That would be fantastic. Check out the new website, www.joyrideadventures.com. And we will catch you later for the next and last 2 episodes of the Henry Ferguson saga.
See you later.
All right, signing out.